From McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota, good evening, everyone. I'm Kinley Kuhneman alongside Seeley Stockmo as we get set for North Dakota High School volleyball action as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders. Volleyball on Shanley TV is presented by the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. We have an exciting game for you tonight. Stay tuned, and we will return shortly, right after this message from our Deacon partners.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Busick, Olson and Associates, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Fusion Electric, Luther Family Buick GMC, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, OnSharp, Sanding Law, Sanford Health, and Shields.
See, we have an exciting EDC volleyball matchup here tonight. Who are some players from both teams that we should watch for?
I think definitely number 13, Ava Swangstu for Red River is going to be someone to look out for. She really gets on top of the ball, and she's going to be a hard one to attack against, honestly. Someone else is going to be 25, Hannah Litzinger. She is only a sophomore, and she's really playing up. I think she gets a lot of balls, and she really brings up the team with a lot of her energy, so that's going to be someone to look out for.
For sure. I definitely think they're going to be hard to defend at the net. And who do we have for Shanley?
Someone to look out for is going to be number 14, Shayna Roach. Starting at the outside hitter and becoming a right side is very hard to do, and she's adapted really well. I think they're really going to have to look out. She can really aim the ball very well. Someone else is going to be number 18, Hannah Hodel, already setting a lot of records for amounts of digs and a lot of different things. She gets a lot of balls, and her energy, too, is going to be something that's going to have to watch out for.
For sure. I definitely think this is going to be a good game between the two teams. You know, both teams have great hitters going against each other, and both teams' defenses are able to get that ball back to the other side and just set things up. So I think it's going to be an exciting game.
Energy is going to be really key to this game, I think.
Serving for the Riders, number 41. Nope. Now serving for the Deacons, Shayna Roach. Free ball over by the Riders. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to McAllister on the right side, and that'll be a tip off the Riders and a kill for Paige McAllister.
They're definitely going to have to watch out for that.
Roach still serving. That'll be an ace for Shayna Roach. O'Halloran with the pass over. Vetter over to Robbins. And Robbins will be blocked at the net, but the block will go out of bounds. That'll be a point for the Deacons. Pass up to Hyde. Better to McAllister. And McAllister will be blocked at the net by O'Halloran. Aubrey Dew in for the Deacons, along with number 50, Maggie Barker, and Hope Gaddy for the Riders. Gaddy will go back to serve. Great hustle play by the Deacons, can't quite connect. That'll be a point for the Riders. Gaddy's still serving. George up to Vetter. Vetter over to Robbins.
Good up.
Free ball over by the Riders. And that'll be a kill for Paige McAllister.
Closing that block on Paige is going to be really big this game.
Yes. Clara Robbins back to serve for the Deacons. Great up by Hannah Hodel. Free ball by Paige McAllister. Up to Hyde, over to O'Halloran. And that'll be blocked at the net by Paige McAllister. Clara Robbins still serving. Rydell up to Hyde. Litzinger can't quite connect, and that'll be a point for the Deacons. Robbins still serving. Great hustle play by Hyde, can't quite get it over the net, and that'll be a point for the Deacons.
These serves by Clara, the Riders are really going to have to communicate to make sure that they can connect on the ball.
Yes. The Riders having a hard time communicating on these serves by Clara Robbins. The Riders will take a timeout. Celie, what have you seen so far from both teams?
I think that communication is something that's going to definitely have to be brought up, and I know that the Riders coach is definitely going to be telling them about that. I think the Deacons need to focus on bench enthusiasm and just keep up the really good communication and be ready for the ball to come back over.
I agree. I definitely think once the Riders get that communication part down, they'll be able to get right back in the game and be able to compete with the Deacons. They're doing a great job otherwise getting their sets up. It's just really the serve receive that's hurting them right now.
Yeah, definitely. Once they just get into the center, they have some really great hitters. Again, in Hannah Litzinger, we saw a really good hit by her, got up, dug by us, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be a good game. This is not over at all.
Clara Robbins is still serving for the Deacons. Clara Robbins still serving for the Deacons. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde over to Litzinger. McAllister with the swing. And that'll be a kill by Ricky George.
Net play like that is going to be a big key to this game.
Excuse me, that'll be a violation, and that'll be a point for the Riders.
Must have been a net violation there.
Number 43, Lauren Tibbert, is in for the Riders. McAllister with the tip. Hyde up to Rydell. Rydell with the back row attack. Vetter to McAllister. Rydell will get that up. Vetter over to George. Rydell again. Hyde over to Litzinger. And Litzinger will get the kill. Excuse me, that'll be out of bounds, and that
Tipped.
That will be
Wow.
tipped. The refs can't decide which one it is.
Yeah.
But that'll be a tip off Hannah Hodel and a kill for Litzinger.
Riders libero must have had almost 4 digs there. Really good anticipation.
Rydell serving. Robbins up to Vetter. Vetter to George. George will be blocked by Maggie Barker.
You can see the rider bench getting into it. I think they're very much still in this.
Rydell serving. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter to George. Hyde to Tibbert. And that'll be tipped. And that'll be a kill for Lauren Tibbert. Rydell still serving. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter with the tip. Rydell over to Litzinger. And that'll be out of bounds. And that'll be a point for the Deacons. Paige McAllister back to serve. Gaddy up to Hyde. That'll be Rydell with the back row attack. Vetter over to George. Great up by Rydell. Free ball by the Riders. Vetter over to George again. The Riders can't quite close the block, and that'll be a kill for Ricky George.
The Riders are going to have to focus on those out-of-system balls getting a hit over. Free balls are not going to cut it.
I agree. McAllister still serving. That'll be a free ball by Tibbert. A free ball by George. Hyde over to Tibbert. And that'll be Tibbert with the kill.
When she gets on top of the ball, that's going to be hard to stop.
Excuse me, that kill was by Hannah Litzinger. Litzinger back to serve. Hodel up to Vetter. Great hustle play by the Riders, and they will get the point. Litzinger still serving.
Looks like there's something. Might be talking about the tip, maybe, something.
There was a rotation violation on the Riders, so that'll be a point for the Deacons. Olivia Vetter back to serve, and Shayna Roach is subbing in.
When you're down like this, you got to keep those mistakes to a minimum. Those are something you can definitely control.
Right, those are costly.
Still getting debated. Looks like the Riders coach does not think anything was wrong there. Some technical difficulties on the Riders sideline.
Looks like everyone's a bit confused.
For the Deacons, you just got to keep this momentum coming out of this little timeout sort of situation. You got to
Exactly, keep the energy up.
Intensity.
Just keep playing. Olivia Vetter back to serve. Barker can't quite connect on Vetter's serve, and that'll be an ace for Olivia Vetter. Barker up to Litzinger. Free ball by the Deacons. Rydell up to Litzinger. Over to Towers. Rydell with the back row attack. Roach with the swing, can't quite connect, and that'll be a point for the Riders.
Kind of a messy point there. You just got to come out of that trying to get on top.
Number 14, Lily Costello, and number 11, Farah Spicer. In for the Roughriders, Costello will serve. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach. Roach with the kill. Great up by Rydell. And that'll be a point for the Deacons.
Again with the net play. Keep that up. We just got, both teams just have to really focus on their block and trying to just get the best angle.
Ricky George serving. Rydell up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Towers. Towers can't quite connect, and that'll be a point for the Deacons. George still serving. Costello up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Spicer. George up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach. Roach with the swing. That's a great hustle play by Rydell, but just can't quite get it up to her setter, and that'll be a point for the Deacons. Ricky George still serving for the Deacons. Costello to Rydell. Rydell over to Spicer. Vetter to Robbins. Robbins with the roll shot. Litzinger to Tibbert. Robbins with the pushover. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach, and Roach will be blocked at the net by Lauren Tibbert.
Riders needed that point.
For sure to get their momentum back. Number 43, Lauren Tibbert, back to serve. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to Robbins. Robbins will be blocked. And that'll be a violation on the Deacons. Point Roughriders.
Great hustle play. Don't let it phase you. Gotta just stay out under there.
Tibbert still serving. Vetter over to Roach on the right side. And that'll be another violation on the Deacons. Lauren Tibbert still serving. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to Robbins. Robbins will be blocked. Touched by Ricky George. Olivia Vetter tries to get the free ball over, but can't quite get it. And that'll be another point for the Roughriders.
Great
They're
hustle
making a
play
comeback
there.
here, Seeley.
They need to just keep communicating. They said they just took a timeout.
And that'll
Smart.
cause the Deacons to take a timeout. If you'd enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joelle Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that's Joelle Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for your watching, and thank you for your support of Shanley TV. after the couple of violations on the Deacons and the Roughriders getting a couple points back, they had to take a timeout just to regroup, get their energy back, because right now the Roughriders definitely have that energy on their side.
They got to keep that momentum.
Tibbert still serving for the Roughriders. Tibbert up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Spicer. Spicer with the kill. Hannah Hodel with the dig. Litzinger to Towers. Hodel over to Roach. And Roach will get the kill. Hannah Hodel back to serve.
Got to build on that kill from Shayna to come back from a little thing like that.
Costello up to Towers. And that'll be a double hit on the Riders. Point for the Deacons. Hodel still serving. Spicer can't quite connect on Hodel's serve. That'll be an ace for Hannah Hodel.
Riders just got to get that control back and they'll be right back in it.
Costello up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Spicer. Vetter to Roach. Roach with the push. Litzinger to O'Halloran. And O'Halloran will get the point. Taylor Hyde checking in for the Roughriders, and she will go back to serve. George up to Vetter. Vetter to McAllister in the middle, and that'll be a kill for Paige McAllister.
Great kill by Paige. Again, communication on the Riders. They can get it, they just gotta communicate on those seams.
Shayna Roach back to serve. Spicer, free ball by Rydell. Vetter up to Robbins. Robbins will be blocked. Hannah Hodel will recover the block. Rydell up to Ride. Ride with the push. And McAllister will get another kill. Shayna Roach still serving for the Deacons. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde to O'Halloran. And that'll be a kill for Cassidy O'Halloran.
Haven't seen much from her tonight. Great to see her getting into it there.
Aubrey Dew will be in for the Roughriders, along with number 50, Maggie Barker, and number 33, Hope Gaddy. And Gaddy will be back to serve. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to Robbins. Robbins' kill will go out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Roughriders. Hope Gaddy still serving. Robbins with the kill, and that block will go out of bounds, and that'll be a kill for Clara Robbins.
You can see the Riders coach is telling them, gotta aim that block, that's coming in hard. Good touch, but you just gotta aim.
They were right there. Robbins back to serve. Litzinger up to Hyde. And that'll be Barker with the kill.
Lefty hit there, wow.
That'll be a point for the Roughriders. Number 12's Rydell. Back to serve. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to McAllister. Great up by Rydell. And that'll be a free ball on the Roughriders, and that'll go out of bounds.
Communication again, just gotta talk.
Paige McAllister serving set point. That'll be at 8.
Oh.
Never mind, the Riders got that one up. Georgia's kill will go out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Roughriders. Hannah Hodel back in for the Deacons, along with Kelsey Towers for the Roughriders. Hannah Litzinger will be back to serve for the Roughriders. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter with the tip. Litzinger with the push. Vetter over to George. George with the tip. Great hustle play by Litzinger. Gaddy with the back row attack. George's kill will go out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Roughriders. Litzinger still serving.
Keep bringing the energy, that's all you can do.
Robbins up to Vetter. Vetter to Shorma in the middle. And that'll be another hit out of bounds on the Deacons.
Looks like the Deacons thought there might have been a touch there.
Litzinger still serving. Robbins up to Vetter. Vetter over to George. Via up by Litzinger. Gaddy with the swing. Rydell over to Barker. Vetter over to George. And that'll be blocked at the net by Megan Shorma. And that'll give the Deacons the first set. Both teams playing very good, Seeley. We saw the Roughriders start out slow, but then eventually started to bring that momentum back. What do you think is key for the Riders in set 2?
I think the key is just going to be talk. They have got to talk to each other and get those balls up controlled for their setter to get good sets so their hitters can take advantage. They have a lot of talent.
I agree. And what about for the Deacons?
Deacons, I think you got to stay in it. The Riders were in that. They stayed in it. We just got to keep the energy up, and again, talking to there. Got to cover on the balls when they're getting blocked back over because both teams have a really great block.
I agree. And your stats for set 1, the Deacons have 9 total kills and 2 aces, and the Roughriders have 3 kills and no aces so far. I think set 2 will be interesting for both teams just to see if they can. I mean, the Deacons have to keep their energy up.
Definitely.
But the Riders also have to get that communication down because a lot of their errors were really just communication errors about who was going to get the ball or if someone was there. You know, they just really didn't know where their teammate was. But for the Deacons, I saw a lot of hits going out of bounds.
At the end there, yeah,
yes.
Definitely.
And
we cannot get in our head there.
They just gave away the free points. And so that'll be something that they will have to work on for set 2 because I know the Roughriders are going to come out wanting that set.
Yeah, and they're going to see that. They're going to be more cautious of how high is it when I'm standing back here. They're gonna definitely think about that, and their coach is telling them you can't get down yourself. You just got to keep playing. They just got to have control, poise, and good serving. Serving runs are going to be big this game. We had a couple longer ones, especially in Clara Robin towards the beginning of the set. I think if the Roughriders can go on some good little streaks there, that this game will definitely be turned around.
I agree. Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.club.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. We are back for set 2. The Deacons took the first set. It was an exciting one, but the Riders are looking to come back. The Deacons will start with the serve, and Hannah Hodel will go back for them. A miscommunication error on the Riders, and that'll be an ace for Hannah Hodel to start off the set.
They're going to start communicating right away. It's going to be very important.
Spicer up to Litzinger. Better over to McAllister. Rydell up to Litzinger. Spicer with the attempt can't quite connect, and that'll be a point for the Deacons.
Litzinger's hustle is crazy right now. I noticed she seems to be setting. Gotta make sure the Deacons are aware of that so we can try and take advantage of it.
Hodel still serving. That'll be a tip off the Roughriders and a point for the Deacons. Hannah Hodel still serving. Costello up to Litzinger. Litzinger to Towers. Towers will be blocked, but they will recover from that. Spicer with the kill. Excuse me, that'll be a violation on the Roughriders, and that'll be a point for the Deacons.
I don't know if I've ever really seen that call like that before.
Hannah Hodel still serving for the Deacons. Rydell up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Spicer. And that'll be a kill for Spicer.
Great spot. Keep hitting on those again with those out-of-system balls. Back row hits are going to be crucial.
Number 41, Taylor Hyde, in for the Roughriders, and she will go back to serve. Her serve will go out of bounds. That'll be a point for the Deacons, and Shayna Roach will go back to serve. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde to O'Halloran. O'Halloran will be blocked. Better to McAllister. And that block by the Roughriders will go out of bounds, and it'll be a point for the Deacons and a kill for Paige McAllister. Roach still serving for the Deacons. Rydell up to Hyde. O'Halloran with the free ball. Better over to Robbins. That'll be tipped by the Roughriders, and that'll be a kill for Clara Robbins.
Great communication and flow by the Deacons right now.
Roach still serving. Spicer up to Hyde. Hyde to O'Halloran. O'Halloran's push won't quite make it over the net, and that'll be another point for the Deacons. Shayna Roach still serving. Free ball over by Spicer. McAllister with the swing. Great up by Rydell. Another free ball by Spicer. That'll be a tip by Olivia Vetter. Great placement by Vetter there.
Riders just have to keep up these hustle plays. I know Litzinger and 14, they all have these amazing one-hand plays. They got to keep that up to get in this game.
Yes. Roach still serving. Rydell up to Hyde. That'll hit the ceiling. Tough one to recover from. That'll be a point for the Deacons. The Riders will take a timeout. I think they just need this to regroup.
Definitely, just got to take a deep breath. Got to get back. This is not, you got to do it now.
I mean, we saw in the first set they were down like this at the beginning,
yes.
and they definitely made a comeback.
Yes, for sure. I think Hannah Litzinger is definitely playing very well. They just got to all put in the same effort. If they really do just like match each other's effort, I think they're definitely going to get back in this game easily.
For sure, and they're definitely making those hustle plays. You know, they're getting to the ball, they're getting their blocks. It's really just not going where they want it to go. You know, they're right there.
They are, and if they weren't getting those plays, the energy would definitely feel different in the gym.
Shayna Roach still serving for the Deacons. And that'll be an ace for Shayna Roach as Spicer can't quite connect.
Riders don't seem to have an answer for Shayna's serve right now.
Spicer up to Hyde. And that'll be a lift violation on the Riders. Another point for the Deacons. Roach still serving.
Looks like a rotation by the Riders, get some different back row.
Costello up to Spicer. And that'll be a double hit on the Riders. Shayna Roach still serving. Her serve will go out of bounds and the Riders will side out on that.
Riders got to take advantage of this one. This is huge. This is going to be a turning point in this game.
Aubrey Dew in for the Deacons, along with Maggie Barker and Hope Gaddy for the Roughriders, and Gaddy will go back to serve. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter to McAllister in the middle, and that'll be a kill for Paige McAllister.
It's definitely hard to beat a hit like that.
Clara Robbins back to serve. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde over to Litzinger. Litzinger's hit will go out of bounds. Point for the Deacons. Clara Robbins still serving. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde over to Litzinger on the outside. Hannah Hodel with the dig. Ricky George with the swing. Hyde over to Litzinger. Clara Robbins will get that up to Vetter. Vetter over to George. Rydell will be right there. Gaddy with the free ball. Vetter over to McAllister. McAllister will be blocked, but recovered by Aubrey Dew. George with the swing, and she will know the perfect spot to get that kill.
You got to stay sharp and long points like that. That's going to be another game changer.
Robbins still serving for the Deacons. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde over to Litzinger. Hannah Hodel will be right there to get it up to Vetter. That'll be a tight set and will be a point for the Riders. Rydell back to serve for the Roughriders. Lauren Tibbert back in for the Roughriders. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter over to George. Litzinger to Hyde. Rydell with the back row attack. And she will get the point for the Roughriders. Rydell still serving. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter over to McAllister on the right side. And that'll be tipped off of the Roughriders and a kill for Paige McAllister.
All these hard hits against the Roughriders block are really hurting the Riders. They got to get a good block and press over the net.
Number 15, Maggie Shorma in for the Deacons. And Paige McAllister back to serve. Gaddy up to Hyde. Hyde over to Tibbert. Ricky George with the swing. Rydell will be right there.
Right up.
And that'll be out of bounds on Litzinger and a point for the Deacons. Paige McAllister still serving. Gaddy up to Hyde. Rydell with the back row attack. Can't quite connect, and that'll be blocked by Maggie Shorma at the net.
Great block, still a good idea hitting it. You just gotta be aggressive still. You gotta be aggressive, even in a deficit like this.
Exactly. McAllister still serving. Rydell with the up, and that'll be a tip by Ricky George.
Smart play by Ricky, not swinging at him, just take it.
McAllister still serving. Up to Hyde. Gaddy with the back row attack. Can't quite connect. And that'll be another point for the Deacons. Gaddy up to Hyde. Back row attack by Rydell. That'll be an up by Aubrey Dew. Better to George. And the Riders were right there, just couldn't quite connect on the block. It'll go out of bounds, and that'll be a kill for Ricky George. Paige McAllister still serving for the Deacons. Litzinger up to Hyde. Rydell with the back row attack again. Shorma with the kill. Litzinger on the outside, and she will get the tip for the Roughriders. And that'll be a side out. Kelsey Towers checking in, and Hannah Litzinger back to serve for the Roughriders.
You can see when the Riders play at their pace, they're definitely excelling. Keep their own pace.
Robbins up to Vetter. Vetter with the tip. Another great placement by Olivia Vetter.
Hard to defend something like that.
Shayna Roach back in for the Deacons, and Olivia Vetter back to serve. Barker up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Towers. Ball will go out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Deacons. Olivia Vetter serving set point for the Deacons. Gaddy up to Litzinger. Great hustle by Litzinger. Rydell with the push. Vetter, Hodel over to George. George will be blocked, but they will recover from that. Vetter with the swing, and she will get a kill. And that'll end set 2. Deacons take that set 25-5. Seeley, what'd you see from both teams, good or bad?
I think the Riders towards the end, they were playing at their own pace. When they play quick and controlled is when they excel the most. I think definitely when you're getting down by those large deficits of points, you just have to focus on each individual good thing, good hit, good up. Not everything's going to be about points, but then the Deacons come and they really seem to just take this set by storm. Honestly, this game has been feeling all Deacons so far.
I agree. I think the Riders are having a tough time getting the Deacons serves up. The Deacons definitely had some big runs that got them ahead, got them the momentum.
Definitely.
And the Riders just kind of got down on themselves for that. And I think that's an easy thing to come back from, especially with a good team like this. We have more stats from set 2. For the Deacons, they have 9 kills and 3 aces. And for the Roughriders, they have 2 kills and no aces.
You can see the aces adding up. Serving is huge in this game right now. The Riders got to get those serves in. They got to be good serves too.
For sure, I definitely think this in between sets is a good mental reset for both teams. You know, the Deacons can't just assume that this one's going to be as easy, because we did see in the first set that the Roughriders did make a comeback after being down by many points.
Many points, yes. Yeah, you have to keep the energy up. You cannot get down in this situation. There's still a chance. You can still get it back. You just gotta maybe even get in the Deacons' heads. You just gotta play your game, and you have to work together. They have got to work together. Communication is going to be huge right now. I can tell maybe some players seem a little new. Maybe they might have some injuries kind of things. I think just got to play your own game, and Deacons got to keep going with the momentum, I guess.
I agree. Set 3 will be interesting as the Deacons have won the first 2, and the Roughriders are looking to keep this match going.
Riders got to come out loud, just take it by storm.
The Riders will start serving set 3. Taylor Hyde will go back to serve. Total up to Vetter. Vetter over to McAllister. McAllister will be blocked. That'll be a miscommunication on the Riders and a point for the Deacons.
That was a great block. Getting that hit up like that is something you've got to do. They got to take it. You can't mess up things like that.
Roach back to serve for the Deacons. Rydell up. Clara Robbins will get the kill for the Deacons.
Again, serve receive, got to get it to the setter. Can't always take those over the net. Deacons are going to capitalize.
And Clara Robbins, only a freshman this year, playing on a team with a lot of juniors and seniors, just making herself really fit in.
No, it's good to see. It's crazy.
That'll be an ace for Shayna Roach. Roach still serving. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde over to Spicer. McAllister with the kill. Rydell will get it up, but just not quite to Hyde, her setter, and that'll be a point for the Deacons.
Riders got to get out of their heads right now. You can't let them get off here. Keep them here.
Shayna Roach still serving. A little miscommunication there for the Riders, and that will be a kill for Paige McAllister. Shayna Roach still serving. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde to O'Halloran. Hodel up to Vetter. McAllister will get the kill. The Roughriders were right there, just couldn't quite connect.
Riders got to kill it every chance they get. Setting it over like that, you can't do that right now in the position they're in.
Roach still serving. Hyde to O'Halloran. O'Halloran will take a swing. George with the back row attack. Hyde to O'Halloran. Vetter over to McAllister on the right side, and that'll be a tip. Hyde to Litzinger. Hannah will be right there. Free ball by the Deacons. Rydell up to Hyde. And Spicer's hit will go out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Deacons.
Got to connect on those. Those are going to be really important right now.
Roach still serving. And that'll be an ace for Shayna Roach. The Riders will take a timeout. They're down 8-0, third set. They've lost the first 2. I think they just really need to come out with energy and just believing in themselves that they can come back from this 8-point deficit.
This, for me, this is the game right here. If they don't connect on the next maybe 3-4 points, it might be a win for the Deacons. They gotta come back strong, controlled, and again hitting every chance that they can get. Setting it over like that is not going to cut it. The Deacons are going to eat it up.
Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. Shayna Roach still serving for the Deacons. Costello up to Hyde. Hyde over to Spicer on the right side. That'll be tipped out of bounds by the Deacons and a side out for the Riders.
This is exactly what they needed. They got to take it right now.
Aubrey Dew in for the Deacons, along with Maggie Barker and Hope Gaddy in for the Riders. And Hope Gaddy will be back to serve. George up to Vetter. And that'll be a double hit violation on the Deacons. Point Red River. Gaddy still serving. George up to Vetter. Vetter to McAllister in the middle. That'll be blocked, but McAllister will recover that. And that'll be a little miscommunication on the Riders, and that'll be a point for the Deacons.
Great coverage by the Deacons there on that amazing block.
Clara Robbins serving for the Deacons. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde over to Litzinger. Litzinger with the tip, but Aubrey Dew will be there to recover it. O'Halloran will try to swing, but Paige McAllister will be right there. Clara Robbins still serving.
More net play, very important right now.
Robbins' serve will go out of bounds. Now that'll be a point for the Roughriders.
Very close there, but the Riders are going to take what they can get at this point.
Rydell serving. Hodo with the up to Vetter. Vetter over to George. Rydell will be right there. Up to Hyde. Gaddy with the back row attack. Vetter up to George. Gaddy up to Hyde. Hyde over to Barker. And that'll be a kill for Maggie Barker.
You can see their coach getting into it. They gotta take this right now and keep it on.
That's exactly what they needed to get back into it. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter over to McAllister. McAllister with the push. Rydell will be right there.
Dig.
Litzinger with the kill, and that'll be a miscommunication on the Deacons. As Hannah Hodel was there to recover Litzinger's kill, but nobody was there to help Hodel out. Rydell still serving for the Roughriders. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter over to McAllister. And McAllister will be blocked at the net by Litzinger.
Momentum just took a huge shift. I don't think anyone was expecting this.
I don't think so. The Deacons had to take a timeout to regroup.
Still up by 4. The Deacons, smart decision. Taking a timeout, take a deep breath. You got it. That's all they're gonna do right now.
We've seen the Riders. The Deacons have made a couple mistakes, and the Riders are definitely taking advantage of that and getting the energy back on their side and making this their game instead of being controlled by the Deacons like they were in the first 2 sets.
Definitely, they have got to keep this up, and I think they can if they keep their attitudes high and just keep capitalizing on every opportunity to hit it down. They got to take it. Don't let this timeout phase them. Coming out of a timeout, serving especially can be hard, can be a little tough. You got to take it right now. Clear your mind.
I agree. Rydell still serving for the Riders. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter to George. Gaddy will be right there, and that'll be a kill by McAllister.
That is what the Deacons needed right there.
Maggie Sharma back in for the Deacons, and Paige McAllister will be back to serve. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde over to Tibbert. And Tibbert will go out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Deacons. McAllister still serving.
I want to see the Rider bench get a little more into it. They're going to need all the energy they can get, especially at this away game.
And that'll be a kill for Maggie Shorma as Litzinger's pass was a little too far. McAllister still serving. Rydell up to Hyde. Hyde over to Tibbert. George up to Vetter, and Vetter back to George. Gaddy will be right there. Now to go out of bounds on the Deacons.
Deacons were right there. Got to cut down on those small mistakes.
Kelsey Towers in for Red River, and Hannah Litzinger is serving. Vetter over to George. George's attempt will go out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Roughriders.
Big serves right here for Litzinger. I think she can capitalize on it.
Litzinger still serving. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter to Shorma. Shorma can't quite connect, and that'll be a point for the Roughriders. Litzinger still serving for the Roughriders. Dew up to Vetter. Vetter over to George. Barker will be right there. Litzinger back to Barker. And that'll be a kill for Maggie Barker.
Great spot there. Deacons were not expecting that.
Just what the Roughriders needed to get back into this third set. Hannah Litzinger still serving. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter with the push. Rydell will be right there, and that'll go out of bounds on the Roughriders, and that'll be a point for the Deacons.
They got that out, just that little inch of too much almost. Just got to keep it under control.
Exactly.
Control is important right now.
Shayna Roach in for the Deacons, and Olivia Vetter back to serve. Rydell up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Towers. That'll be a little too far in front, and Towers can't quite connect, and that'll be a point for the Deacons.
Both teams taking turns almost, making these little mistakes.
Vetter still serving. Barker up to Litzinger. Litzinger to Tibber. Hodel to Roach. And that'll be a kill for Shayna Roach.
Shayna Roach a little quiet lately. Good to see her get those hits.
Vetter still serving. Barker up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Towers. Hodel with the free ball. Litzinger to Towers again, and that'll go out of bounds on Hannah Hodel. And that'll be a point for Red River. Spicer and Costello in for the Roughriders. And Lily Costello will go back to serve.
Riders got to take that mistake and run with it right now.
George up to Vetter. Vetter over to Roach. And a little miscommunication there on the Roughriders. They were right there, but just couldn't quite get the block up. And that would be a point for the Deacons. Number 4, Madeline Bannikin to serve. This is the first time we've seen her tonight. Very strong serve, and I think that's just what the Deacons need to win this last set. Rydell up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Towers. Hannah Hodel up to Vetter. Claire Robbins with the serve, and that'll go off the arm of Lily Costello. And that'll be a point for the Deacons.
For the Riders, the feeling of almost defeat is kind of setting in. I think they have to get that out of their head. Don't pay attention to the Deacons, just play your game.
Costello up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Spicer on the outside.
Looks like we got a whistle there. We'll redo the point.
Bannock serving. Rydell up to Litzinger. Great hustle play by Litzinger, but that'll be a net violation on the Riders. A point for the Deacons.
She almost had it. Can't get in her head now. You gotta take it right here.
Bannock still serving. Rydell up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Towers. The Deacons will be right there. Great hustle play. And that'll be a kill for Shayna Roach.
Great take by Roach there.
Bannock still serving. Rydell up to Litzinger. That'll be another net violation on Litzinger. Point for the Deacons.
Bannock has a great float right now. I can't see where it's going in the air. Deacons gotta take advantage of that. Again with that serve.
Tibbert with the ball over. Roach with the swing. That'll go off the hands of Lily Costello. Another point for the Deacons. Bannock still serving. Spicer up to Litzinger. Litzinger can't quite connect with her hitters on that one, and that'll be a point for the Deacons.
Bannock is making herself in this game. She's taking advantage of getting in this third set.
Rydell up to Litzinger. Litzinger over to Towers. Hannah Horn will get one hand on that. Great hustle play by Olivia Vetter. Can't quite connect on that one, and that'll be a point for the Roughriders. Cassidy O'Halloran in for the Roughriders. And Lauren Tibbert back to serve. Hodel up to Vetter. Vetter to Roach. That block will go out of bounds on the Roughriders, and that'll be a point for the Deacons. Paige McAllister subbing in for the Deacons, along with Rydell for the Roughriders. Hannah Hodel serving set point. Costello up to Litzinger. Rydell was right there. And with that miscommunication on the Riders, that'll give the Deacons set 3.
That last point by there at the Riders kind of sums up the game for them. Just little miscommunications.
Yes, I think all around it was a great game. You know, both teams made great plays, did what they could, and definitely left it all out on the court tonight.
Definitely.
We have some set 3 stats as well. The Deacons with 10 kills and 2 aces, and Red River with 4 kills and 0 aces. Altogether, Shanley had 28 kills and 8 aces, and Red River had 9 kills and 0 aces in all 3 sets.
That can just sum up what we saw here today, Kinley. Crazy ratio there of just how the game really just played out.
I agree. For Sealy Stockmo and our entire crew, I'm Kinley Kuhneman. The final score from Fargo, Shanley Deacons 3, Grand Forks Red River Roughriders 0. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to shanleytv.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.